So, hello everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mihai, to be here.
Yes, welcome. Thanks for inviting me again.
How we lost sometimes in the mind when we are working with the body, yes, and we are kind of stressed, and we actually don't want to confront the reality, and we lose in our mind this, if it's their trauma of what is happening there. I mean, why we are not allowed to go deep sometimes in these areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you are talking about this. I think it's a universal phenomena. It doesn't happen just for you, that we are engaged in some project or some doing or some task, and you notice this pattern of it's hard to finish it, hard to complete the job, to be done completely, to do it well completely. And you notice that this towards the end, so it's a lot has been done, but towards the end. And why? And I guess what to do about it, if anything. Well, we were talking just before we started recording. So in the fourth way, Gurdjief, George Gurdjief was mentioning about this, and was using some specialized terms that I'm going to kind of not use here, but explain it. But the idea that, and anyway, so he explains about it, Gurdjief, and I guess we can start with that. And the idea was that everything that happens in nature, and man is part of nature, is that every project, every activity, every including like human activities or the growth of a plant or growth of a body or anything, goes through some progression, just like in a musical note, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. There is a progression of which I guess it's the creation, the expansion of the universe according to certain laws. And he was talking a lot about the law of 7 and the law of 3, which are not, I guess they are not known by science. The law of 7 appears in music, but Gurdjieff was saying that this is throughout all the creation, this is happening. And, you know, there were like hundreds of pages and a lot of talks and how to, the importance of understanding this and how to use this for the purposes of spiritual work. I think that's the rubber meets the road, is that, well, our spiritual work or our life tasks, they fall under the same laws. So he wanted people to know about this phenomena you're talking about, that is hard to complete, hard to finish it. He wanted to people to know about this, so they understand what we are dealing with and how to overcome it. So we can, you know, even for spiritual work or psychological work, how to stay on track, not to deviate or to get stuck. Okay, so yeah, so he was saying that there is some kind of universal law that the progression of a job goes through various stages, and there are 2 moments in this task where we are losing some momentum. So we're like, I don't know about this, you know. So we are kind of changing our mind, or we lose some of the interest we had at the beginning. Or there is less passion about it, or there's less motivation. Yeah, so there is one such moment at the beginning of the job, and then one such moment at the end of the job, towards the end. And he was saying that this interval, or this moment of this stalling of the energy at the end, towards the end of the job, when it's just one step left, so to say, one little thing needs to be done or something, there he would say it's like it's a hard ladder to jump, because it's, yeah, so just knowing about that, this may help. So he would say that it requires like extra effort of attention or extra conscious effort to finish the job, to finish it. So I guess just knowing that may help, and be like, oh wow, I am here at the end, I am this final thing, and I need to kind of push more. I guess using some other explanation, there's this also, this, you're talking to me, this tendency to maybe you start a project, then you get distracted, do another project, then do another project, and then, so you know, in some clinical word, this like ADHD could be a symptom of ADHD. It's like hard to stay focused, to stay with the attention somewhere due to some imbalance in the brain. ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Also, some other theories are that this attention deficit disorder is actually a adaptation, or as a result of being exposed to trauma. Like Gabor Mate was saying that, let's say you are raised in a family where the parents are fighting a lot and yelling and shouting, and so the little boy is at home coloring or doing homework, and there's this like shouting. And so that's really intense and scary and stressful, and like a lot of information for the little boy. So then the little boy adapts to check out, like doesn't hear that, is like in a daze, or focusing deep on something. Or so Gabor Mate discovered that, you know, cases like that, later people maintain this attitude of being distracted, checked out, attention, cannot stay focused, because it helped them a lot in childhood.
I was thinking that, yeah, this term of the octave, when you don't finish the octave and you have to finish, why you have to finish, yes, we can go there later. What is the meaning of finishing the octave? Yes.
Yeah.
And you will have many intervals in your life, so you have to be aware of these intervals. Yeah. But it's very interesting to have this awareness. Yes, in order, because it's connected also with our affects our daily activity. Yes, affects our emotions, affects our relationships, and affects our everything. Yes, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's, I think what you said, it's this law of seven, or law of octave, from Gurdjief, although Gurdjief now is not familiar at all, it's not popular, it's a little outdated. Yeah, just knowing about this helps. Knowing about this, it helps by understanding, oh, I'm dealing with a natural law, how the energy moves, and it's completely natural that I lose some of the initial interest as I start playing a guitar, or I start a new company, or I start a new relationship. It is natural that it's not all the time like, yay, let's do this. So it's going to shift the energy and the interest and the enthusiasm. And so just knowing about that will help, because otherwise, if we don't know, we think, oh, I don't want to do this, or oh, it must be that she's not the right person. So then we are going along with each gust of the wind, and we are blown around without any direction, you know. So knowing about it helps. Now, I think we are it's more important so much like apparently, according to Gurdjief, all nature happens like that. So, and it's taken care of. But more like for human and our activities, it seems like we have the choice here to bridge the interval or to finish it or to be asleep to it and let it be unfinished or deviate the project. So now why to finish it? I mean, there are some other teachings like it appears this birth in fourth way or Don Miguel Ruiz is the fourth agreement of doing things well. Whatever you do it well. Gurdjief was saying that whatever you do it 100%. Be fully in it. If you make a coffee, make a good coffee. So from this point of view, also from another point of view, I know I was studying more like neuroscience. And for this guy, Dr. Andrew Huberman, he has a very nice YouTube channel, and he's a neuroscience professor who talks about kind of spiritual topics and medical topics and well-being topics, but in a very scientific neuroscience way. And this applies to mental health. Whenever we complete something, you finish something, or I want to do my room, or I want to clean my house or something. If I finish it, apparently we complete like a dopamine loop in our brain. So there is something that completes and then gives a certain reward chemical as a kind of like, some kind of sense of I did it, like some kind of contentment and more energy. You finish it to give more energy. So it's like some dopamine loop that makes us be, when one is more depressed or lethargic, the attitude is like that. I'm like, I don't know. It's hard. It's like, I'm more like leaning backward into sleep, I guess. And then so you say, okay, your life is hard. You don't have a job, but can I do my dishes? I don't know. It's like, okay, I'm going to do my dishes. So I'm going to go more like that. Then if I am able to go for the interval, like overcome the laziness, procrastination, lack of energy, lethargy, then I do all the dishes, then I get some reward in the brain in some way, like, so I'm more like that. So now I got more dopamine. Dopamine is like the chemical around motivation. And then now I have more motivation to do more, so that's why in some, even as a self-help or psychological tool, when my life is not going so well, to find something in my house and improve that, change that, clean that, something that I can do. This will switch the attitude from being collapsed to kind of like leaning into life,
Yes, and something easy that doesn't overcome you. Yes, because sometimes we want to find something that is super difficult, and then we are like, oh, I cannot do it. Yes. Like, for example, the bed is very easy, so you just do it a little bit nicely every day. Yes, or you just place your shoes in a certain way. Yes, I don't know. You find things that are easy, like that doesn't blow how do you say, blow your mind or blow
I mean, I was doing a lot of men's work, and there we were encouraged to take some goals, or they will call it stretch. Take a stretch for next week. A stretch meaning, like when you are stretching something that it's a little hard, so I make a lot of effort, but it's not too hard that I am going to be, oh man, see, it didn't work. It's like a small aim stretch. So we're encouraged to take a small aim or a stretch from week to week to
yes.
make to connect it to some aim that we had, something that is relevant to our growth. But we were recommended to not make it too heroic, not too big, not too like outstanding. Like, okay, I'm going to meditate next week 5 times 1 hour. No, 7 times 7 days, 1 hour a day. And we'll be like, okay, man, how many times you meditate now? Not at all. Hey, man, it's not going to work. It's too heroic. It's too ambitious. You'll do it 2 days, 3 days, then you 4th day you don't do it, and then you're like, I don't know, I don't have it, I'm not good enough. So we're encouraged to, hey, that's too heroic. Make it something that you can do it. So next week you come here and you say, yes, good. Now what are you going to do next week? You know, so small stretch that you complete, I guess, builds the spiritual will.
Yeah, also with the body, you know, like I mean, I just observe sometimes my posture is like this, or like you say, like that, you know. It just reminds me that sometimes to be a little bit aware of this. I mean, it's just nice. I mean, change your attitude, change everything, the energy inside you. I don't know why something changed when you place straight the back. I don't have an answer for that, but it's also something that works.
Well, I mean, the body, the mind are one. So the thinking and the emotional energies and the thinking and they are all expression of the spirit. They are all expression of consciousness. So it's like a one thing. And so they are very connected. So if I also, you know, as you know, chakras, meridians, energy systems, in a certain postures, the flow of energy is cut off. And other postures, the energies work better. You know, all of this yoga, qigong, tai chi, cultivate a certain more like a straight yet relaxed posture, and then it flows better. Now, also Gurdjief, again, coming back to Gurdjief, he was saying that you see, whenever you find yourself in a dark space, psychological, emotional space, it might be accompanied by a certain posture. You are collapsed or like this, or so it was encouraging to work both with the mental, emotional content, as well as to shift the posture. He was also saying, like, you may feel very good, but then if you have a bad posture for some time, you have no choice but to feel bad psychologically. Because they are connected. So yeah. Let's come back to, I have some more on what you said about this, why this is happening with the distractibility or something. Another point of view would be that I notice this in myself and others. We sometimes do a lot of things, and that is doesn't come from our authentic self. That is can come from some false pattern of being productive, or of being productive with the subconscious thing that, well, if I'm doing all these things, I will be worthy, or I will be worthy of love, or I will be somebody. So there's all this striving and doing things out of a false reason, or also, yeah, there's some mechanical pattern, automatic, compulsive pattern of being busy and doing things, but our soul is not into it. It's almost like it's not my goal here. it's I don't know, my mother's goal or somebody from society, from programming. So it's important to be selective about what we engage and to make sure we really want to engage in that, to make sure that it's really I want from my essence, from my inner authenticity, rather than I'm running some programs that want me to be busy to do these things. I notice in myself sometimes. I had a bunch of projects, and then, but there were some projects from 5 years ago that I was interested in those things 5 years ago, but now I wasn't interested anymore, and I wasn't aware of it. And then I kept going there. Okay, I have to go to these events, I have to do these things, and whenever I will try to go, I will have a headache, or I will have a thing, or it's like something will happen. And I remember that I had a mentor there, and he said to me, "Hey, can you check? Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that?" I was like, you know what? I used to want to do that. I don't want to do that now. And he told me, dude, why don't you stop? You don't need to do it. So anyway, to check, because whenever I have a project or anything, it's like open accounts. Our energy goes there. And especially if we have some project, we open a project, we don't finish it, it haunts us. We feel like, so it's good to check from time to time projects and see if, okay, do I still want to continue this, or I want to turn it down, turn it off. So it's good to switch, turn off projects consciously, like, hey, I know I was doing this, but I changed my mind, which is okay. So I decide no longer do this, finished. So then it's not like it's not good to have many unfinished stuff. It's better to just let it go, have less projects,
Okay.
And to see, yeah, this is from one of my teachers, from Francis, Lucille. He will say this spiritual tool to check with your heart's enthusiasm. This is good, more like not necessarily the beginning of the path, because at the beginning of the path we might not know, it's not sure what we want, but as we get more serious on the path, we have a certain, our heart knows. So to listen to our heart and to see what is it I really want to be doing, and to check, do I really want to be doing this, or I'd rather not do that, and somehow listen to that and not go against your inner enthusiasm, unless you really have to. Let's say you need to support your family, and temporarily you have to, there's the only way to make some money is to do this job that you don't like. That's fine to do that temporarily until you can find something better. But if we constantly go against our heart's enthusiasm, it's going to be bitter and like depressed.
Okay. Yes. So I get lost. Wait. Sometimes when a person say one word, or make a sign with the hand, or speak a little bit in a different way that I expect, yes, or something, I go into my drama queen. I will call it drama queen, because my this little person inside, or I don't know which one, is like, this person is doing something that I don't like it. Yes. It's aggressive, it's violent, it's blah, 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 blah. So, and then I begin to create
a story about that.
Huge story about it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us why the mind doesn't stop and why go and loves to go into that drama queen? Maybe we are educated to go to that drama queen. I know in Mexico, women are educated to go into that drama queen. In television, you can see all these women that are like, you know,
Yeah.
loves. I don't know in United States or in other places, maybe in Italy a little bit, or Spain or things like that, you know, more Latin countries.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Well, you know, it seems like you are talking about triggers. Somebody says something or has a certain face or a certain gesture or there's a certain stimulus, or they don't say something, or they look away, or whatever. It can be something clear or something very subtle. And then this is a trigger. And now what happens is that something in the present is a little similar to some other stuff from my past. So that little stimulus, it's almost presses a button which activates certain past painful experience. So the fact that he made this gesture, although it might have nothing to do with me, or that he said this that had nothing to do with me, it touches some sore, like my pain body, and then it activates some bad past experiences, painful. So then I am feeling this emotional reactivity. All of this is happening very fast, so I don't know. I'm not aware enough, and these are happening fast. And then it gets angry or whatever, angry or sad or withdrawn. And in that trigger also, then it's like it means something. So there's this emotional energy, and we are upset in connection to a meaning that our mind made. And you know, as you know from Kiloby inquiries, like we have this tool, the boomerang. So let's say which is meant to help me find out what is actually the cause of the trigger. So this person said something that, okay, I'm triggered. So now the way to go is that I'm becoming more aware that I'm triggered. So I bring awareness to my body. I notice more agitation or contraction. And if I'm aware enough, I can know, oh, wow, this is my stuff. And also if I'm aware enough or educated enough spiritually, I know that nobody is responsible for my emotional state. And my emotional state is mine. And I created this thing, this trigger. It's in a regular life, let's say, thinking out there, we believe that, oh, I feel like this because you said this, and I feel like this, I feel bad because it's your fault that I feel like this. But anybody who is doing some inner investigation, honest, will see that that is not true. And actually, these are self-created based on loops from the past and based on my own traumas and various things. So anyway, if I know about this, then whenever I'm triggered, I use it as a alarm clock to become more aware. And I observe where I feel this trigger. Oh, I'm on fire here, or I am feeling fear or sad, whatever. So just bring awareness to these things. The tendency is for the mind to get active now, like, yeah, but how can it, because this and that, and they said this and this, I'm so tired, you know, as the mind becomes active, the pain body goes from the body into the head and spinning some stories. the way to go is to get more conscious and try to stop the mind loops. Stop it and get more aware of your body, of your breath, get more stabilized consciousness, so to say. Thich Nhat Hanh was saying, when the branches are moving in the wind, the storm, yeah, the branches is the mind now making stories and being upset. If one is ready or willing, or one is tired of suffering with the same triggers all the time. And when one is tired to blame the world for my emotions, then one can do this work I'm talking about. Yeah, so when the branches are like this, the mind is to bring the awareness to the trunk of the tree, Thich Nhat Hanh says, which is meaning like bring awareness to the belly and get more calm or more conscious. And then if I'm more conscious, my mind is clear. Now I'm looking at my emotion and this tension, and I'm like, why am I triggered? Yeah, so you need to get more conscious a little bit and less thoughts to bring awareness to my trigger and to inquire, like I have this thing in my chest. The boomerang is, what does this mean? The fact this person said this to me, what does it mean about me? Or what old story of mine is evoked in me? And then I look into it, and from the body, and it says, nobody respects me, or she wants to change me, or I'm not, I don't mean anything to them, or something, you know? Okay, well, this is my core deficiency wound, or my core painful wound. And that is why I am now sad or angry, because I believe this, that she wants to change me, or that I'm unlovable or something. But that might have nothing to do with what those people said. They had that thing, you know, whatever. So anyway, so this way I realize, oh, wow, I'm triggered because of this. So just becoming aware of this, then I take my power back, and, you know, it can calm the trigger. And but, you know, to do this work, one needs to be more seasoned, let's say seasoned or practitioner of the inner work. And, you know, what you see on TV, and I like this, you know, Latin flavor. I'm Latin, passionate, and like, yeah, no problem. But in those, there it is, it's juicing. They are juicing reactivity. It's like, it's dramatic. It's like nice. It's a kind of, they want probably those actors to get more dramatic and to juice it, because it's attractive. This self-created suffering, this drama is unnecessary self-created suffering, and it is a certain level of consciousness, a certain level of ego consciousness. And the televisions and the soap operas are at that level. They are not interested in like spiritual development, freedom from suffering. No, they are interested in drama, in bullshit. It's entertaining, and it helps people who are unhappy to forget about their unhappiness by watching some unhappiness of the other people there that look beautiful, usually. Beautiful people pretending to be unhappy.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So all these drama queens and all this energy is coming from sex energy. Yes, it's sex energy that we can use it. This sex energy, we can use it for awakening, for observation, for inquiries, for this kind of things. Or this sex energy, we can use it for drama queen. Yes, I mean, we can. We are going to be drained by this drama queen if we spend our life there, and then we are not going to have sex energy or energy for work, for the work. I don't know if I deviate from the.
Yeah, you make a big jump now, and it's fine. We can go there, but I would say the energy of the drama queen, and drama queen. Okay, we use this term for this emotional reactivity, and feeling right about this emotional reactivity and indignation, and how can it be, and problems with others, and heightened emotions, and indignation, and victim, and how can it be, and injustice, and all of that. I believe that energy fueling that is actually the energy of the trigger, which is the pain body and trauma. Also, what maintains that is a ego consciousness, which is interested in drama. It likes it. It's juicy. Yeah, so it's okay. Yeah. And okay, now jumping with you with the sex energy, and I guess it uses sex energy to fuel the drama. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that the sex energy is the problem. Is that the sex energy is used by this stuff due to lack of understanding, lack of awareness, lack of practice.
Well, just in the first way where I was practicing, they used to say to us, if you don't use in a proper way use sex energy, you are going to be old very soon. Yes. So you are going to finish your everything. Cells are going to die very soon. So to use in a proper way, use sex energy means not to go in the drama queen, not to go into all these kind of things, hate, fear, things. And also not to laugh too much. So everything, you have to do everything in a balance, in a very, very, very way. You have to observe yourself, you have to stop things. Yeah, it's a hard work. It's not like easy. It's not mechanical work. Yes. It's not something that you say, yes, I want to jump into there and just do this work, yes, because it's so easy. No, it's difficult. Nobody wants to do this work. Of course, everybody wants to be young. Everybody wants to have like beautiful, healthy body, but we don't want to make the efforts to be in this. So we prefer just to take medicines or just to go to other kind of, or to go to other kind of things. Yes. But tell me, how do you think about that, and why you think that Kiloby is right in telling us to express all these emotions, fear, hurt, anger? I mean, we don't express it to others, yes, but they tell us to express in a session.
Okay.
Or maybe you are not.
No, that's I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested where it goes the conversation. So you started with the sexual energy, and in the fourth way there. Well, I mean, I want to say that many people, a large percent of the population, highest, I mean, like 90+% of population, they are not interested in doing spiritual consciousness, evolutionary work. They are interested in comfort and pleasure and security and safety and fame and material stuff. So, and that's how it is here, humanity at this day and age. And for our humanity, there were some people, a percentage of population, they were interested in this inner work, inner exploration, becoming more conscious, and then it's like a whole different river. It goes against the current of the river of humanity. And so I guess people who are watching this are maybe interested towards going against the mechanical, automatic ways of the world. Yeah. And about the Kiloby that you said, that where we are encouraged to yeah, we are basically, the idea is that part of our education and part being conditioned by our parents and society and television, and going through life while humanity is in a low state of consciousness, our emotional center, our emotional body, our God-given emotions have been messed with. So the mechanism of emotional thing has been messed with. So in order to, we have been conditioned to believe that some emotions are not okay, and some emotions are wrong, and that some emotions we learn that it's not, we are afraid to feel it, also afraid to show it, you know. And different people have different programs. Also males, there's a different programming about emotions, female, different programming about emotions. So, and that is dangerous. It's dangerous in a way that it's almost like the emotions have an intelligence and power in them, and they are natural, but they have been pushed down, stifled, and this creates actually a lot of problems. From I don't feel I feel, if basically my emotions are not allowed to be, then this creates actually a sense of deficiency, a sense of there's something wrong with me, something that I'm not good enough, or there's something like this. Then if my emotions are not allowed, then the emotion is some truth of the body, truth of the inner compass, and in its natural form. Yeah. So then I don't have a compass anymore. So I'm running with some borrowed compasses. Also, if I don't allow anger or fear, or as they're all repressed or suppressed, then I'm going to suppress also or repress my joy, my creativity, my love. So it's going to become dull. It's going to also, I'm going to start feeling contracted parts of the body, and chronic pain and certain diagnoses. I work with people who have cancer, and when I check their psyche, they have been a good boy for like 30 years, and they have tried not to rock the boat and not to express and not to bother people and not to, so this pattern of repressed inauthenticity. So and it's, yeah, what this unconscious culture did to us is like we are no longer in our natural flow with emotions. You know, it's like a tiger is a tiger, a deer is a deer, but like a human is not anymore like what it is meant to be. So that's why I agree with the Kiloby inquiry's work.
Yeah, I just like what a human being supposed to be. I mean, because now is a lot of theories of what a human being supposed to be. I mean, if we follow the theory of the evolution, you know, if we believe that theory, a human being supposed to be a monkey, or I mean, if we believe the theory of integral yoga, a human being supposed to be energy, yes. not this body. It's supposed
I
to be
think
like,
it's both. It's a monkey and it's energy. They're both true. And the
yeah,
spirit.
but we're supposed to be out of this body, and we in Sri Aurobindo say that one day we are going to be, all the civilizations, all the humans beings are going to be completely in the higher energy that never going to need a body. Yes. And we are going, I don't know, I just repeating the words of a wise man that was reading integral yoga. Yes.
Yeah.
But for this reason, I was like, what's supposed to be a human body? Yes, I just like, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
Not,
Well, you know me by now. I don't. I like to have more like. I'm open to theories and explanation, but I don't want to believe them just because somebody said that. So I'm trying to verify the truth of it in my experience. And I verified that when I was doing a lot of spiritual psychological work, which was actually still oppressing my emotions and trying to control them in a certain way and making them wrong. And so I verified that as I started to engage in the emotional work, according to Kiloby, it's almost like feel like restoring back to a certain more natural expression. So from one angle, using Gurdjief teachings, I feel that the KI work restores some essence and removes or diminishes some of the effects of false personality on our emotions, you know. And in the fourth way, they were saying that you can't go from false personality to being awake.
yeah, no,
You need to
impossible.
go from false personality to being in essence, being authentic, natural, with like emotions and stuff. And then from there, going towards being more awake.
But when you say this, that you have to be in essence or things like that, I want to understand very well, because some facilitators in Kiloby, they say you never can express anger to a person. We are not telling you to express anger to a person here, yes? Or to punch a person or things like that. But maybe my essence is something like that, you know? Maybe my essence is something that is, it's a fighter, or it's a warrior, yes? And so I just a little bit confused in that.
Yeah.
Because in that topic,
Yeah.
I understand that you express fear, anger, I think in a session, you know, or in a self-facilitator, that you are in your room and you are like taking out all this, and you understand that it's like, because each person have different things. Just one person can have fear, another person can have hurt about a situation, anger. And then when they discover that they are in this emotion, yes, they like kind of work with this, and they're like, and things, but they supposed not to go to express it to the other person. Oh yes, I mean, I just confused here.
Unless it is seems to be the right action, not as a reaction, but from wisdom, to go and speak to that person and says, hey, I really don't like when you do that and you talk to this and you do this. I really don't like, I want you to stop and never contact me again. Sometimes that may be like really the best thing. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think you are saying, well, okay, we are supposed to allow the emotions, but at the same time you are concerned that if you allow this, then you are going to become like really dangerous and like hurtful person. And okay, so coming back to your situation, we talked initially with the drama queen scenario and reaction and trigger. Okay, so in that scenario, you have emotion. There's emotion, and you can go and be like, hey, it's like, you can't do this, and how dare you, like this or that. Yeah, so these are emotions, but those are emotions. It's where our emotional center is taken, hijacked by our false personality, where I'm making shit up, I'm imagining that they think this, I'm taking it personally, I have a lot of assumptions, and I have a lot of ego attitudes. So my identity is in the false personality, and my false personality is now having emotions. And so that is not, that is being natural and all of that. So that's why there needs to be some preliminary purification work to diminish this false personality attitudes and wrong beliefs and this or that. As this is diminishing, now we are going to be more in our essence, in our authentic nature, and our emotions are now linked with our essence more. And so when I lose something dear to me, I'm sad. And when something scary comes, I'm afraid. And something enters my, something hurts me or comes into me or disrespects me in some way, boundaries, then I'm angry. And something is happening, I feel hurt. And so that is natural somehow, that is natural. And so I need to learn how to allow these energies and how to be informed by them. And also there may be still, these energies are linked to trauma and stuff. So this happens, but then this reminds me when I was 7 and my parents divorced, and then I was alone. And so there's more work there, emotional work, I guess, to process and bring to the light of awareness our pain body. And the more we do that, the pain body diminishes. And actually we have less emotions. We have emotions, but it's less drama. It's like naturally less drama. And they're just less emotions, and the emotions are allowed, are it's okay. They are informing me, and I can allow to feel this emotion, and I can show or express this emotion. Sometimes with some people, I don't know, makes sense to you?